So you want to become a YouTuber and get paid to travel around the world. In this video, I'm going to share with you guys 5 tricks and tips that I've learned to help me afford to travel as a YouTuber. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Conti and I'm a travel vlogger based right here in New York City. And last week I released my proudest work to date, which was a recap video of my 2018. We are in 2019 right now. And for me, my 2018 revolved a lot around traveling and the overall video. And for me, my 2018 revolved a lot around traveling, and that video in particular did as well. But with a video like this, it does bring a lot of controversy because people think that in order to travel, you either need to be a trust fund baby or win the lottery. So in this video, I want to share with you guys my secrets and tricks and tips that I've learned in order to get paid to travel around the world. Also, if you make it until the end, I'm going to be giving away my current camera setup, so stay tuned. So guys, welcome back to the apartment, and I wanted to apologize for the bad lighting. I actually have all of my lighting gear in storage since I'm gonna be moving. I'll get into that later in the video, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the tricks and tips that I've learned on how to make money as a social media content creator, influencer. We'll just go with YouTuber. So let's get started with how I got started. Around 2.5 years ago, I went on my biggest trip around Asia. It was for about 3.5 months, and I had just broken up with my girlfriend who I was kind of living with. Don't really recommend that. We were like 22 years old trying to live together, and I needed a change in my life. I needed to get out of that. So I started looking at new apartments, and when I was looking at the prices of these New York City apartments, I thought to myself that I should probably go on a trip before I had to pay, thousands of dollars for a broker and get my own place. And I'm really glad I went on that trip because it was such an eye-opening experience, and I think the reason why now I am a YouTuber and get paid to travel around the world is because I went on that first trip around Asia. And I just remember being on that trip thinking to myself how I would love to be able to travel and do social media. And I knew that YouTubers could make money from AdSense and they could partner up with brands, but being on the other side of the screen, I didn't really know how they actually made money. So in this video, I want to share with you guys all the things that I've learned within this past year of being a YouTuber. So let's start with number 1, which is also, I would say, the major source of income as being a YouTuber, especially for myself. I'm doing my 2018 taxes right now, so I know this. So yes, it is working with brands. Whether that's a brand sponsoring one of your videos and you have to give a shout out, or whether it's a dedicated video and maybe the brand will want to have a license to that so that they can run the marketing and use it as an ad on other platforms. And for myself, I personally don't do too many YouTube branded videos, but of course from time to time I do like to work with brands that I believe in. I've actually used a lot of companies and services that I found via the YouTubers I watch and them doing shout outs. So I do believe that it's a great way to learn about new brands that could be helpful to you. And now this is something that I wanted to share because I never knew how it worked, how these travel YouTubers were traveling with branded content. And for me, how it works is I'll usually get hit up by a brand and they don't tell me where I have to film it. I could film it right here in New York and barely spend any money on it. But I usually tell them like, hey, if I do this, I'm gonna go film it in the Philippines. And typically they won't give extra money. I just decide to spend out of my pocket, out of the budget, the flights, and usually we'll fly out someone else to come help film. So it does cost me sometimes even just as much as the budget. Like I recently just filmed that one video for Samsung in the Philippines and I was able to create 4 other videos because of that. So I'm pretty much saying when I get these branded opportunities, I usually just spend the money on going on a trip and creating awesome content for you guys. So that's why it's awesome to work with brands, because they can make your trips and your video ideas possible, because AdSense, it honestly isn't enough to cover videos, especially for a creator my size. This is also something that I haven't really seen any other YouTube channel do, which was having just one brand sponsor a whole series. I did want to include that there is also working with tourism boards. This was actually my goal for 2018, and in October, I was reached out to by the Tourism Board of Arizona and got to go out there and film a video. This is still one of my favorite jobs to date. And another way, of course, that YouTubers make money is from AdSense, but for me personally, I could definitely not afford a living just from this YouTube AdSense. I think my channel gets about 500,000 to the most it's gotten is 900,000, and the CPM is the dollar amount you get per thousand. My channel gets around $3 per thousand views. So off of that money, I definitely could not afford to live in New York City and also do the traveling. But it is nice that it can at least help cover rent or maybe even buy a couple plane tickets. So another way is from affiliate linking, and this isn't a main source of income for me for my YouTube channel, but I do have friends like Craig Adams who does a lot of filmmaking videos and videos about gear, and he links all of his gear in his description, and he makes a good living just from his affiliate linking. For me, I use two. If you see in the description on my videos, I always have them there. It's MusicBed and B&H. And MusicBed I actually stand behind so much. I just started working with them a couple months ago. I'm one of their first ambassadors, but I absolutely love their music. If you like the music in these videos, that's where I've been getting it from. It's MusicBed. They have a library and there's just so many amazing songs to choose from. And if you do click the link and you sign up through my affiliate link, I do get a kickback from it. And the same goes for B&H, where I have a list of all the gear that I use, and same thing. If you click it and within 24 hours buy something on their website, I get a small percentage of that commission. So if you're buying camera gear and you want to support the channel, it would definitely be greatly appreciated. And the other great thing about working with B&H is that if you're an affiliate with them, they also give you loaners. So on my other camera, the A6500, I actually never owned a lens. So it's really cool that they want to help us creators and make sure that we have all the gear that we need. So this next one I want to get into is one of my goals for 2019 to get into more. Since I have a friend who goes by Hamza Diaz, he is an incredible photographer and cinematographer and also drone pilot. And he was telling me how he makes a good amount of money from licensing his footage. So if you have any epic time lapses or drone footage or even photographs, there are ways that you can make passive income and upload them to these websites. And every time that someone downloads them, you get a small commission from that. Now, the last one that I want to talk about and why I'm moving is because I never like to lock myself in a lease, and that's why I'm always bouncing around. I've received comments from you guys saying, Brett, you move more than anyone I know, which I probably have. I've had maybe 6 or 7 apartments within about 2 years. And that's because my top priority is to travel and be free to roam when I want. So if you are looking to travel or become a travel YouTuber, I do recommend getting into short-term leases or maybe even staying at home, because I've gone on trips for even a month and had to suck it up and pay my New York City rent. But later this month, I'm actually gonna be going on a huge trip back to Asia for probably most of the winter. So I wanted to get out of this apartment and not have to pay that money in rent, so I can use that to travel and afford to make these videos. Not gonna lie, I almost forgot to do this giveaway. I was just about to end the video, but earlier today, I did go to B&H and picked up this new, beautiful Sony a7 III. I just made it here to B&H, and I'm also accompanied, you're gonna be in my vlog, my friend TJ, who's also a fellow travel vlogger, and now you're based in New York City.
Yes, I am. Recently new.
How have you been enjoying the winter?
So
I ended up going with the Sony a7 III with the G-Master 16-35, and this is honestly the dream setup. If I could have any setup in the world right now, this would be it, so I could not be any happier. But I am gonna be giving away my A6500. I'm actually getting it cleaned right now, and I did just buy a lens for it since, like I said before, I didn't own one. But the way I wanted to give it away is different than any other way I've done it before. I want one of you guys to give it to one of your friends who you think needs it. So go to my Instagram, which will be right here, and comment or even DM me a friend that you think really deserves it. Maybe they don't have the funds, maybe they're having something going on in their life, but they have a passion for photography or maybe wanting to be a YouTuber. And that's the person I would love to give it to. And I would love for you guys to be selfless and go out of your way to write to me to give it to a friend. So I think that's just about it and everything I wanted to mention in this video. But if there are any questions that you have about being a YouTuber, leave them down below and I'd love to answer them. I actually leave for Colorado tomorrow, home for a little bit, then go to California for a trip with Sony only for like 2 days, and then the next day, leave for Asia. So a lot of exciting things going on this channel, and if you aren't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time guys, remember to get out and get busy.